if you're out traveling and you want to make new friends, there are some things that you can do to actually make that happen. Now, one of the things I like to think of using is an open mindset and be more fun. Now, the principle of having the open mindset is not only like the open mindset of talking to new people and being open-minded for new things. It's also the principle of that I open up my body language and I open up myself in order to open up other people. Now, the reason why I do that is because it brings out, I don't tell my whole life story. That's not what I'm talking about. But I'll share some things about myself that I think that they would find maybe interesting, or I just share things that I want to share about myself and not having particular any reason for sharing it other than I'd like to share it. And then what happens is that most likely the other people will start talking about themselves. But that works more like when you're mid-convo or when you're further in the convo. What I like to do first is that I like to be more fun. And actually, when you think about it, those people that you're talking to on a regular basis, or the people that you find fun to hang out with, try to see what they're doing. What I found that the people that I think are more fun to hang out with is that when they're asking questions about me. So I ask questions about other people because that lets them be in the spotlight. That lets them be able to talk about themselves. And one of the big thing is with us humans, as if I would be something else. No, but anyways, the thing is with us humans is that we like to actually talk about ourselves. We do. Not everyone, but most people like to share something and be listened to. Now imagine if you're in a situation where you really feel seen, that someone sees you, that someone really listens and talks to you and really wants to hear more about your life story. Don't you like that person more? With that mindset, you can go into a conversation or a new friendship or a new relationship or a business partner, just asking them questions about them and focusing on them and be more fun. Now, another thing with being more fun is practice more of being, what's it called? Is that a body? Looks like a dead body. That's crazy. Right? Surely isn't. Is it? Anyways, totally lost my track. No, got it. So be more fun. Now, be spontaneous. I think that being spontaneous is actually something that you can improve, that you can over time practice on being. Now, if you hang out with people that are spontaneous, or you would say they are, you'll probably most likely get their behavior as well. So what you could do is, with the average of the 5 people you spend your most time with, that you can spend more time with people that you actually want to become. But that's hard if you don't really have any new way of meeting new people, or if you might be shy, or maybe you're working too much. I understand, because I've been there myself. Honestly, I have. Not particularly maybe on the shy part, because that was when I was younger, but I practiced then to not become shy or to be more confident in social situations. But anyways, be more fun, be more improvising on the spot, on doing things, coming up with fun suggestions, doing things that people would like. Base it off yourself, what you would like to do, actually, because that is the best thing you could do. Sorry for the audio interference, by the way, but I think the best thing that you could do is actually be exactly like a friend you would want to hang out with. Does that make sense? Like, you're try to become the person you would want to hang out with and invite other people to your journey. Because what happens then is you most likely will have like-minded people like you that like the same things that you do, get more attracted and want to hang out with you more. Wait, I'm just gonna check it's recording. Not only that, you have to be active and actively invite other people as well. Be including. That's very important, because one of the biggest things that I've found is that most people, and I've been to many different countries, right? And I have more countries to visit, but I've been to plenty. And what I've noticed is that people aren't really that shy always, but they're shy to make the first step or take the first step. Not always. I know that for example in the US, people are or I guess it depends on which state, of course, but in Connecticut and New York, where I was, they were quite social. They asked me questions, they started talking to me out of nowhere. And here in Spain as well, some people can come, but that was like, for example, I made some new friends on this during this festival that was here in Sierra Nevada, and real nice people, love them, real nice. And I made friends with them because they started talking to me, asking me if this was the spot for the bus. Now, I speak a little bit Spanish, so what I did was that I spoke and I answered in Spanish, but I had this accent because I'm a foreigner, right? I'm Swedish. So they figured that, he's not from Spain, so they're curious. Then I opened up my body language. Literally, I'd open up myself. I really thought about that. Okay, I'll make myself more open and turn myself towards them a little bit, put my feet at them, everything, all those cues you can do. I can go through them in another video if you want, but it's basically just pointing yourself towards the person and opening up yourself like you would embrace them. But don't stand like this, but just like normal, relaxed, and then a little bit more open than usual. Then she started talking to me, asking, so where are you from? And I said, well, I'm from Sweden, and where are you guys from? And then we had a conversation. I started asking questions about them, what they do, what they work with, well, the work thing came a little bit after, but I asked them where they're from and what are they doing here, what are the expectations of the party, and just talk to them and ask them questions. So be more fun by asking questions, be more fun by actually being unimpulsive. What was it that I said? Improvising? No. Spontaneous. Being more spontaneous. Because the more spontaneous you are, and it doesn't have to be like something fancy. It can be like spontaneous in a conversation. You can show your spontaneity. You understand what I'm saying? Du fattar. You can say that. You can be in a conversation spontaneous. You can be in the way that you're thinking, in ideas spontaneous. So being more like that, people would most likely want to hang out with you. Or more likely. And you have to make the first step, because that is one of the first principles of actually making new friends and getting to know new people, is that you have to most likely be taking the initiative, which takes a lot of courage. But if you think of it, what do you hate most? What do you dislike most? From my point of view, and what I dislike is being alone when I'm not alone alone when it's not my choice. Because I like to be by myself sometimes. I like to take some time. Like now, I'm recording this, talking to you, and we're alone together right now. But sometimes I like just chill. When I go skiing, like think by myself, want to go on a walk. But I'm very social. I'm very extroverted normally, in compared to many other people. I have a huge social desire. So what I dislike is being alone, not out of my own choice. There's a difference. And that drives me enough to actually make new friends. And also, I'm fairly interested in other people, and I like to get to know other people. Now, this is another thing that I actually want to talk about, but that'll be another point for another video. That I like to get to know people and interested in them, but not always. It depends on the conversation, depends on the people, the person, and the dynamics and the environment. But yeah, to wrap it all up, be fun, be spontaneous. And you become fun by analyzing other people that you think are fun, and then try to appropriate their behavior, as in asking questions to the person that you're talking to, meeting them on their frequency, and just talking to have a great time. And also take action, because you have to do that. So imagine what you dislike most. If you really dislike being alone, then take the time and the effort, make the effort to actually get to know new people. And have a great day. Hope you like this. Share it to someone that you think would like this. Comment if you have any questions, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.